York Football Giants and why this team will rebound from their less than disappointing season, but I don't know if they'll do better than what they might think. But anyway, in continuing, we of course have at quarterback Eli Manning, especially after the debacle that kind of went down with their last coach, Mr. Hair Slickback McAdoo, kind of benching him for no reason was pretty out there. It happened. Yeah. But I think he'll do better under Pat Schumer. Although with even though with Mike Shula at offensive coordinator, that's going to be something. They do have a slur of quarterbacks ready to take his spot with Davis Webb and Kyle Latula, but I think Manning's got a couple years left in him. At running back, of course, let's get into it. They drafted Saquon Barkley with the number 2 overall pick. And this guy has been hyped up non-stop. It's been quite annoying to say. Because I'm glad, how well he's doing. I'm glad, they see him as a good player, but by God, let him play first. I mean, ESPN did like their best roster of players under 25 and put Barkley in there, who hasn't even played it down. I believe either Ezekiel Elliott or Alvin Kamara should have been placed ahead of him, but really, Barkley, you guys are hyping a guy up that hasn't even set foot on an NFL field just yet. So give it a minute. All right. At this rate, I'm expecting this huge collapse. This absolute bust of a back. I'm expecting these to rush for under 800 yards with a 3.5 YPC. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Just wait a second. I want to see him produce or perform on the field first before I'm willing to crown him anything. Just fucking wait. Christ. Anyway, at wide receiver, of course, you got Odell Beckham, who is expected to recover from his ankle injury. Starting alongside him is going to be Sterling Shepard. And there'll be a few competitions. He's going to be a 3rd, 4th, and even 5th wide receiver. They got a few guys they'll throw into the mix. Some young, some solid. But, that's going to be pretty interesting to watch. And, of course, I think, you got a good duo with Shepard and Odell. I mean, sure, they're both under 6 feet, but, what is height? I think both of them are very solid. I mean, you got Odell Beckham, who's a very talented playmaker, and Shepard's a very good slot position wide receiver with some good speed. And plus, you got Evan Ingram, who's a very dangerous receiving tight end. Really did well in his rookie year. I think that's a good receiving core, although they might lean on a run game. Of course, this is a Mike Shula offense. Because keep in mind, this is a Mike Shula offense. Don't expect a lot of imagination or creativity. Hell, don't even expect the wide receivers to go in motion most of the time. And of course, offensive line, they did buff it up a bit, signing Nate Soldier and drafting Will Hernandez, who should solidify the left side of the line. You got a very good left tackle and a potential very good guard in Hernandez. Center is probably going to be Brett Jones. And the other guard, you're going to have a competition between John Jerry and Patrick Omehe. I can't pronounce that name. It's Omehe, however you pronounce it, for the right guard. And right tackle, it's going to be a tricky one because they're still trying to see if Eric Flowers can turn into something and become worth that first-round pick. And honestly, the moment they put him at left tackle, I knew he was going to struggle. I didn't think he was going to be a good left tackle. I thought maybe this is a guy you could probably kick inside at guard and maybe it'll work out. I don't think that's what they're ever going to do, so he's going to be probably stuck at tackle. And might struggle. He's got a couple of competitors like Nick Beaton, Chad Wheeler, but I'm kind of worried for Eli if that offensive line doesn't improve. And overall, the offense I think is going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I think it's going to hinge a lot on if they can fix their running game. I mean, sure, Saquon Barkley was the number 2 overall pick. A lot of people said he was the safest prospect, probably guaranteed home run hitter. But there's just way too much hype into Barkley. I don't know how he's going to do. I don't know how he's going to perform in the league. So everyone just take a huge step back and let's see what happens. I feel like this is a guy that they're setting him up so much. They're building him up. They're continuing to build him up, and it's not expecting it to fall. It's like that you grab that one piece. It's like you're playing Jenga, and you grab that one piece, and that one piece collapses the entire tower. And that's unfortunately what I'm expecting from Barkley. Just someone's going to grab that one piece, and he's just going to collapse, and he's just going to collapse. It's really going to hurt. It really is. But if he can live up to the hype, similar to how I'll say Ezekiel Elliott kind of did when he got drafted in the top 5 by Dallas, then it would all be warranted, and I will shut my mouth from now on about Barkley. But the rate he's being built up, it's pretty nerve-wracking. All right, in that defense, surprisingly, they did trade away Jason Pierre-Paul. So the main edge rusher, of course, is Olivier Vernon, who I think is one of the more underappreciated and pretty much underrated edge rushers. Because keep in mind, he was top 5 last season in 2016. He was top 5 in quarterback pressures, along with Brandon Graham and Von Miller and Cameron Jordan and Khalil Mack. He's a very good He's a very talented pass rusher, and he's going to be the main guy. Some other guys that they have, of course, are going to have a bit of competition. They're going to try guys like Avery Moss. They drafted Lorenzo Carter in the 3rd round. They're going to try him, and a few other players. But I feel like they have an idea who it's probably going to be. They got some idea how to do it. So I'm not particularly worried on that front. Interior, you got Damon Snacks Harrison, who's a very good defensive lineman. There's going to be a bit of competition probably with Dalvin Tomlinson. They also drafted Jaron Jones, so he's probably going to have a bit of competition. They also drafted B.J. Hill. There's going to be quite a few players they're going to try out in the interior. They want to try and get what they had in 2016 when they had Hankins and Harrison play. Hey, Jonathan Hankins is still available if you ever want him, but I think it's going to be between Dalvin Tomlinson and probably B.J. Hill see who will play the interior. At linebacker, they did get a much-needed upgrade with trading for Alec Ogletree. I thought that was a very good trade. He's a very solid linebacker, but he's been better than what they have had in the past few years. I think their last good linebacker to memory is probably Antonio Pierce, who helped them win Super Bowl 42. So high remarks right there. They got a couple other guys like Ray Armstrong and B.J. Goodson. I think Ogletree does elevate it to another tier. I think at a solid or respectable level. It's not glamorous by any means, but it's not terrible either. It's definitely not terrible. And of course, secondary, you got Janoris Jenkins with Eli Apple, who they're hoping that can redeem and rebound from after a disastrous 2017 season where it's just been, it was forgettable. It was just terrible. They got a couple guys that they'll try out to play the other outside corner, so not too much worry there. And of course, you got a good safety combination with the All-Pro Landon Collins. And I'm pretty sure, and I think the other starter is Darian Thompson, if I have that right, Darian Thompson. Yeah. So overall, it's a very solid team, very well built. The defense, I think, has a good chance of rebounding. I think there was just kind of this bad feeling in the locker room, just kind of uneasiness, no real leadership, nothing that can stabilize or really keep the players from basically going at each other's necks. Because I do feel like that was a huge problem. A huge problem with the New York Giants in 2017. It felt like everyone was going at each other's necks. You had Jenkins and DRC going at Eli Apple, and even Landon Collins going at Eli Apple. You had, and that's definitely not what. And of course, you had Eli Apple go through some personal issues, and that's not what you want from your team. You don't want people going at each other's necks. You don't want this kind of division or this hostility. It definitely hurt. It definitely hurts. It's kind of a huge problem. And I'm hoping, and I think the offense will rebound. I think what Ben McAdoo tried to do in New York, it failed and blew up in their faces badly. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens to the team going forward. I like for this team to rebound, but they got a tough schedule to deal with. I'm not sure if they were ranked in top 5 in the NFL in tough schedules, but it's a tough one. I mean, first game going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Good luck with that. Then having to go at Dallas. Holy shit, they're playing Dallas not on the first week? What's going on here? And, of course, have to play Texans and Saints, Panthers, Eagles, Falcons. So those are a real tough first 7 games for the Giants. So if this is a team that really wants to rebound well, yeah, you want to kind of get a little light on the beginning and not have the overall increase in difficulty. Yeah. They have a bye in week 9, so this is going to be pretty interesting to see what happens. I mean, if Barkley does explode, this will be interesting to see going against a team like Dallas and Jacksonville, Houston, and the Saints, who aren't particular dominant run defending teams. I mean, and it does help going against, and it will help, kind of relieve pressure off of Eli so he doesn't have to win games. And also watching Odell Beckham going against some of these corners that we have to go up against. Going against Ramsey, going against Lattimore, going against whoever's going to be a star corner in Philly, Trufant. It's going to be interesting, especially if he's at full speed. If he's at full speed and at full effectiveness. I do like this team probably going around probably 6-10, maybe 7-9. I don't think they'll improve drastically, but because there are a few things that they do need to improve. I think they need more of a big body catcher, similar to what they were hoping to get from Brandon Marshall before that happened. I think another year with Shula and Shermer should really fix some of their mistakes. They'll get a good feeling who's going to be the opposite edge rusher with Olivier Vernon. The linebacking core can get some more players. They can insert some more talent into that secondary, kind of, clean up the locker room a bit. Because it feels like this team is definitely a team that could be on the rise. Just needs some buffing and some polishing. I think this team maybe in 2018, and this is her maybe, that could be a team that will be on the rise, perhaps back in the playoffs. But I think that going against a team like Dallas and Philly definitely hurts because they're the 2 main teams really standing in their way. But say they manage to sweep both of them, then that's perhaps a Super Bowl team, in my opinion. I don't think it might happen, but it's just one of those things where I would keep an eye on. But yeah, I think 7-9 is probably a good is a nice solid prediction. So what do you think? You think they're going to go 7-9? Because that's what I'm sticking with.